Good afternoon, folks. My name is Mark Taylor, and I will be your instructor for this lab this summer. And I wanted to actually go over a few things with you while I have Canvas up here, just so you can actually see what's going on. Now, for the most part, it's a normal class in the sense of it actually has a physical place where we meet. It is here in Building 2, and it is a Tuesday-Thursday lab starting at 10 a.m. Now, I do have office hours right before that, starting at 9. I see I got, I don't know how to tell time apparently. Let me fix that real quick. Office hours are not going to be 12 hours. That would be too much. So, office hours 9 to 10, and actually what I did, in case you need to get on there real quick, and obviously you're driving here during that time, you can actually get to those office hours through Zoom, and I have the directions right there, and I'll briefly show you how that works here in just a second. But I just really wanted to go over the basic idea of the schedule, because the odd thing about this particular summer is the first week of class I will be in a conference in Pensacola, so I won't be there. So our first two labs, if we go down here, I call them home labs. Now you can see I got some other things flagged in here. Those will be going away soon because of how I'm doing this particular class. I've actually combined them into just one little category, which is the home lab. The literature reviews are down there, but they're not actually published, so they won't show up. They do have dates on them, but they're going to be disappearing here soon. So the first week's lab, the home labs, are both identical, but let me click on one of those so you see what you're doing these first days. So what I have here is basically two options. It's a kitchen chemistry where you are actually cooking things, and I got some odd things. Matter of fact, I will point out that the ice creams that are listed are no churn. You don't have any special equipment. The by far the worst aspects of the homemade ice cream, and let me click on one of these, it's more of the health, I guess you could say, because if you look here, it's the heavy whipping cream, which aren't it's not something you actually typically make for if you're counting calories, but obviously you don't have to do these. I have the criteria here, and the only thing I ask about with regard to the results is that someone tried it. It doesn't not necessarily need to be you. And I have had plenty of people that do that and cut the ingredient size down, because if you notice, this is making a lot of ice cream. 2 cups, 2 cups, 1 box, 1 box, 1 box. So this is making a large amount. It says 6 servings. I think when I did the math, I put that closer to like 12 servings, because I don't ever eat that much ice cream in a single go. Now, plenty of other options on the cooking chemistry, but on the other side, if you want to just do something that requires no kitchen or no shopping, I have the literature reviews, and it's just various different labs I found over the last year, and various different topics and such, and you just find one and do a review of those, and the rubric for grading those is down at the very bottom. It's the only one that's truly attached to the assignment. And when you're finished with either one of those, you just do a little file upload, and they'll go in there and I will grade them. Now, I'd love to say I'll be grading them as they come in, but next week's going to be interesting for me. I think I'll have a chance to get things graded, but you never can tell with how these conferences are. I know this one's going to be a busy one for me, so I think I'll be happy if I stay on top of emails. I don't know if I'll get much done on there. All right, now when it comes back to normal lab, the regular in-person lab, the biggest thing I need you to do is remember you will need a calculator for most of these labs, so make sure you have it. Now, technically, you can get by with the calculator that's on your phone, more than likely, without too much difficulty. But keep that in mind, you will be doing calculations. But after these first weeks, we have something more traditional in labs. Now, just to make sure no one gets hurt or anything dangerous like that, next Tuesday, the 5th, or the first Tuesday of July, we're going to do an actual, just a safety lab. There will be no experiment done that day. That's where we're going to go over dress code and overall safety. And I will probably do some type of experiment to give you a basic idea of how to use some of the equipment for those of you who haven't been in there. But then after that, we do some more normal labs for a General Chemistry 2 lab. You'll see I got some lingering ones that need to be fixed because we're not going to be here on a Saturday. So you know why hopefully they're not showing up on yours. Hopefully they're just showing up on mine. But we'll be concluding the semester where you get to make aspirin. It's not necessarily usable aspirin because we're not doing a purification step, but it actually does pretty darn good. All right, now I mentioned earlier I was going to show you how to do these office hours. Now it basically says, and that it really is the steps, but I'm going to actually show you real quick. I need to switch this over to student view. And actually, if I'm in student view, I want to make sure the agenda looks right. Yeah, only showing home lab 1 and 2, and Saturday the 23rd is not showing up. So it is showing like it's supposed to. I like that. Showing college planning day. All right, so to do the online office hours, you would just go to your calendar and hit find appointment. The lab shows up. I hit submit, and it will point out next time is the 5th because I'm not able to do office hours next week along with that conference. And you could just find one and click on it. Now, if I do click on it and reserve it, and I don't know if I'll be able to reserve it. Yeah, the reserve button's right here under the comments section, and I can't see it on this particular browser. But you would hit reserve, and then it shows up in your calendar. But all you really need is that link right there. So even if you don't reserve it, if you know you just need a few minutes, just click on that link, and they'll open up Zoom. Now, if you do it this way, I wouldn't have been told ahead of time you were joining the meeting, so you might have to wait for me to show up. But if I hit open link here, it will actually indeed send a message to my desktop. And where I'm at, I'll know you're in there, and I should be able to connect to you and answer your question. If it's a really quick one, send me an email. But something along those lines. I figure the office hours will be mostly used by the students I have taking Chem 2 lecture, but the office hours are available to you guys as well. All right, I am gonna get out of that student view, go back to the syllabus, and then just point out that next week, remind you, next week is the odd week. After that, we're kind of normal for a lab. And if you have any questions, just reach out. My email address is right there. More than likely, or a much better response, you'll get a much better response if you use the inbox here and just send a message to me directly through Canvas. That's going to be much easier next week because I think I'll attempt to sign into the school's email system remotely, especially not from Pensacola. But if you have any questions this weekend, I will be available, so let me know what you have going on. Thanks. Bye.